Tēnā koutou katoa, just ahead tonight in your news bulletin. Police say undercover alcohol compliance operation a success. Reported child abuse figures raise alarm. And the Te Aroha Games a great success. Those stories and more coming up next on City News. Rotorua police are encouraged by the results of a recent undercover police operation that checked licensed premises to ensure alcohol was not being sold to persons underage. Police were also checking if alcohol was being sold in breach of the Sale of Liquor Act 1989 over the Easting trading period. Acting Sergeant Wayne Harper says the operation combined police, Toi Te Ora Public Health and Rotorua District Council resources. Police visited 23 bottle stores and bars in the Rotorua area, and on each occasion no sales were made. Sergeant Harper says reducing alcohol-related harm is a key priority for police, with a particular focus on reducing the accessibility of alcohol to youth. He says that results from the undercover operation was very pleasing and showed that licensees had remained fully focused on compliance with the provisions of the Sale of Liquor Act. Sergeant Harper also is urging licensed premises to continue their vigilance and warns that similar operations would be likely in the near future. Power is back on to most areas around Taupo after the wild weather of the last few days. Taupo Emergency Manager Phil Parker says many trees are still down and roofs that have been blown off properties are still needing to be fixed. However, he says it's too dangerous to assess the full extent of storm damage. Mr Parker says the wind in Reparoa and Broadlands is so strong it's hard to stand up. He says Broadlands Road, the main route from Taupo to Rotorua, could be closed for up to 5 days. Recently released figures of child abuse complaints in Rotorua for 2010 have alarmed child advocates. Idea Services Manager Merepeka Raukawa-Tate says the figures show that child abuse complaints in Rotorua have more than tripled in the last 5 years. Mrs Tate says the statistics are alarming and therefore she supports changes to the Crime Amendment Bill currently before Parliament, which makes it a crime for a person not to report abuse if they suspect of it happening.
I would have to say that I would accuse adults that don't speak up of cowardice. I mean, I know it takes a lot of strength. I know it does take, it's brave. You have to be brave to speak up, especially if it's in the family. If it's in the family, you run the risk of the family really dealing to you, ostracizing you, being absolutely, totally upset. But why wouldn't we? Who else will stand up for our children if we don't? That is a child that does need an adult to step up for them. And when your own family, who should be there to protect you, provide a loving and nurturing environment, when they do not speak up, when they know it is going on, then they're failing in their jobs to protect their children and the members of their family. So I believe that people who don't speak up, they're cowards in my view.
Merepeka Raukawa-Tate says you can't fight child abuse when adults continue to turn away. Rotorua District Council's Children and Family Fun Day held at the Redwoods in March raised over $500 for Rotorua Hospital's Children's Unit. Money was raised through the Bunnings Great Go-Kart Race, contributions from food vendors and donations. The event at the Redwoods is based around National Children's Day, which is held on the first Sunday of March each year. Rotorua District Council Arts Officer and Event Coordinator Kiri Jardin says this is the second year we've been able to make a contribution to the team at the Children's Unit. Ms Jardin says it's great that we can use this National Day to focus on such an important aspect of local child welfare. The Rotorua events attract around 2,000 people who are able to participate in a range of free activities from aerial crate stacking, mountain biking and storytelling. In sport tonight, organiser of the Te Aroha Games says that despite the weather, the event was a great success. Aneta Morgan of Te Papatakaro o Te Aroha says over the 3 days, around 2,000 people enjoyed the Games. Ms Morgan says the support from Te Aroha Hapu was inspiring, and the question from whānau now is, when is the next one? She says discussions are underway as to when the next ones will be held. Defending champions Ngāti Rangitihi of Matata again took out the overall winner's title. To your weather, Rotorua tonight. Odd shower, clearing, gusty southeasterlies, a low of 7. Tomorrow, Friday, fine, gusty southeasterlies, easing, a high of 16 and a low of 6. Long range through to Saturday, fine, easterlies, a high of 17 and a low of 9. Marine forecast for Lake Rotorua tomorrow, Friday, southeast 20 knots, easing to 15 knots in the afternoon and 10 knots in the evening. Half a metre waves, easing in the evening and fine. If you've missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again by going to tvrotorua.co.nz and click on the View Latest City News link. Or to view what's on in our city, click on the Upcoming Events link. Stay with us. Still to come tonight, Kitty Jardin tells us about the Magma Film Festival. Amanda Hurst from Asthma Foundation talks about tomorrow's Balloon Day appeal. And I talk to Events and Venues Manager Peter McLeod.